Welcome back to our talk tonight. Yesterday's severe storms brought some pretty strong winds, heavy rains, and ominous-looking clouds over central New York. Take a look at this picture. This was sent to us from a viewer in Moravia, a Wasco Lake area, where many were wondering if a tornado had touched down. So we've been in touch with the National Weather Service. They were surveying the damage today and ruled it was straight-line winds that blew through southern Cayuga and southern Seneca counties. Many, though, were wondering if this was a tornado. There was a tornado warning in effect yesterday.
Yeah.
The maximum sustained winds seen here were 60 to 70 miles per hour. We've invited Chief Meteorologist Wayne Mahar to join us in the conversation tonight. Wayne, can you put this in perspective for us here? What's the strongest sort of storm that we've seen? Would it be the Labor Day storm?
Well, I would think the Labor Day storm has got to be some of the strongest winds that we've seen. You know, I'm not sure we can say ever, because who really knows? But I mean, Labor Day storm, 110 miles an hour, 110 mile an hour winds in the Labor Day storm, and we know the damage it did with that. And here's the point too, is that Labor Day storm obviously wasn't a tornado. I mean, that's been determined. It was not a tornado. It was derecho, strong microburst. And normally around here in central New York, when we get strong winds that cause damage from thunderstorms, most of the time it's not going to be what we would technically call a tornado. It'll be a microburst or straight line winds, but you're still talking damaging winds of, you know, it could be 80, 90 miles an hour. So, you know, tornado, especially given what we've seen lately, the real tornadoes down south.
Certainly, yeah.
You know, we perk up when we hear about that. But hey, a strong thunderstorm with downburst straight line wind, that's the same as a small tornado around here a lot of the time.
And especially if you compare it to the Labor Day storm in '98, there was a wide path of destruction over many miles and many communities from the Finger Lakes all the way through the Mohawk Valley. That was quite unusual.
Yeah, I mean, that was really bad.
In this case, though, let's look at what we have pictures of from Nedrow. I think this was. That was one area, the southern part of Onondaga County.
Yeah.
Got a lot of pictures, and we see this kind of cloud. What is that? Of course, for a twister, we need to have some rotation. A tornado has to turn that, and so we're seeing clouds like this that appear to be reaching towards the ground. Dramatic for sure.
Yeah.
Is that anything in particular?
Well, let's put it this way. When you get a strong thunderstorm, okay, a lot of the times, even if you don't have rotation, you get these type of, we call them scud clouds, and you have shelf clouds and wall clouds, and these are all associated with supercells, you know, strong thunderstorms, and there may or may not be rotation. I mean, I saw myself some rotation, okay, from this particular area that we were tracking on live triple Doppler live yesterday during the tornado warning. Looking at live triple Doppler, it looked like the signature that there could have been a funnel tornado signature. Weather Service went out there today and saw just straight line wind. It wouldn't surprise me if there was still some areas that had good rotation and darn close to a tornado.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at least in this particular area, Owasco Lake, Moravia, Scipio Center, McDougal, they're looking at straight line wind.
In terms of the winds, though, at what point do you need to really pay attention, listen closely, and maybe seek some shelter? I mean, when you're talking about 40 or 50 or 60 or 100, at what point do you really need to start listening?
100, yes.
Yeah, 100, yes.
50, probably.
Yeah, 50, yeah.
25, maybe.
I mean, is there a threshold for when you really sort of need to
I'm not
shelter?
sure there's a threshold, you know, other than, you know, I think you've got to consider maybe your surroundings.
Sure.
You know, are you in a building that a 50 mile an hour wind doesn't matter, but a 100 mile an hour wind, get out?
Yeah.
You know,
right.
you know, you out in the open, you know, 50.
Are you on a golf course with a, you know, playing around a golf with an iron in the hand?
Yeah, and as simple as, is it a wind strong enough, you're going to get hit by debris.
Sure.
You know, I mean, that's a critical thing.
One thing is for sure, we have better warning systems than we've ever had, and including everything that comes right out in CNY Central. So
absolutely,
we appreciate all the coverage you gave us yesterday, and keeping an eye on some relatively little storm action that's going on out there tonight. We'll have more on that in just a couple of minutes. You can always join the conversation by going to our CNY Central page on Facebook for sure. And